Hello, I am AlmondNut, as you all know. The channel you're watching is AlmondNut Plays. It's quite obvious, it's in the name. Hey, look at that. Today is a very special video, one that I really wanted to do for a long time, and I'm so happy I'm able to do it. Today I'm interviewing somebody who has been a big part of this channel, and a big part of my life, you know. I'm a big fan. Please welcome Mr. Almost Living Mostly Dead, ALMD. Yo, what's up? I'm Almost Living Mostly Dead, ALMD. Nice to meet you. Alright, so we're just gonna get right into it and start just answering some questions, and you just answer them to the best of your abilities. Get comfortable. And is that a cigarette? Yeah, it is, because famous people smoke. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, I might have to have a few after this interview. All right. So, the first question is just tell people about your music. Tell everybody what goes into making an ALMD song, and what inspired certain things. Okay. When I started out making music, for one thing, didn't really know too much on FL Studio and everything. But a buddy of mine introduced me to a really cool application called GroovePad. And I would go on there, and what he does is he basically records samples of all the things that are on there. Because when you open up GroovePad and a certain pack, there's things you can get into, certain things you can tap on. You could make a song in GroovePad, but in a lot of ways, in a little more complicated ways, it's easier to make them on FL Studio. So I would start kind of implementing things here and there. And then I started getting creative and everything, and throughout my EPs and stuff, you'll kind of see how it progressed. There are a lot of songs that are inspired by other artists. Geometry Dash was inspired by DJ VI, who made certain musics that were in Geometry Dash, and definitely Cold Breaks and a lot of other places. Rhythm was the Rhythm of Lies was inspired by Nero. Heard a lot of rhythm from him. Plus, my friend said I couldn't make rhythm, so I proved him wrong. Not make rhythm. And mostly just, I don't know, certain songs I'd be like deep into anime, binge watching. So like Sonic Buster, I was really deep into Seven Deadly Sins. So as I was making Sonic Buster, I kind of like had thoughts of the Ten Commandments and shit. I don't know why. And stuff like that. Hey, the guy's a motorcycle. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So, there's a lot of things that kind of go into a song. It's mostly just kind of dedication, really. And just kind of sitting in front of the laptop, or at this point now, a big tablet screen, and just crunching away at shit, give me a good joint, and I'll get a few songs out within the day. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, has there been any issues with your music or anything? Has there been any altercations between other artists or anything like that? Any major issues or anything? I wouldn't really say there's any music issues or anything. I actually, surprisingly, I have not received any kind of hate comment or anything like that on any of my videos really, for music and shit. Surprisingly, I actually kind of figured that one person would say that a song is shit or something like that. But surprisingly, I have not really dealt with anything like that. Which kind of actually to this day still surprises me. I really thought that somebody hated me that much that they would write something like that. But no, not even on my SoundCloud. I have not received a comment that's bad about my music on anything. So no, there's not really any kind of drama, Okay. I see how that can impact you. I don't really know, dude. You really think I'm an interviewer? Anyways, so that's very interesting. Now, as I've done some research, I see that you worked with a few pretty decent, very decent artists. You know, like I believe their names are Midnight, Kylo Wolf, and Crew Feud, correct? Yeah, they're really fucking awesome people. Honestly, like, man. All right, Midnight and Kylo, they're related. They're my cousins. I'm not gonna say their real names just because I don't know if they want to. You know, but the channel has seen them before. So Midnight, he made his own song, Control, which is fucking badass. One of the best songs I've still heard to this day. And a lot of the little kind of like implements that I did on Let It Make It Burn Rejuvenated was from his advice and stuff. He's actually pretty far into like the music kind of stuff. Like he's got some pretty good knowledge in that mindset. Kylo, he's just fucking fun. It's fun to be around, fun to hang out with, you know. And when he made Dub Select It, like that that was good. Like I was really grooving to that one. I mean, so much so that I asked him if I can make a remix of it. And even then, like the remix is just not as good as his original song. You know, like that was awesome. Crew Feud is my good friend Austin. He did a lot of the inspiration and everything for Karuta. He even helped me pick up the name and everything. And although he didn't really physically help me with the song or anything, that doesn't really matter. I mean, he you know, most of the talks that we had gave me so much inspiration for that song. So his name deserved a spot on that song, in my opinion. But I mean, yeah, there's just awesome people, and I want to work with everybody. Like anybody who wants to work with me, I will gladly work with them. That's one thing I'll always stand by. Wow, that's quite the story. I mean, when you see names along with other names, you don't expect a lot. Learn something new every day. Jesus Christ, you're a fucking asshole. Anyways, well then. So, you currently have out 4 EPs. Is that true? Can you tell us a little bit about them? Yeah, so currently out to the public right now, I have 4 EPs. There's Soundbase, which is my original project, ALMD. Definitely did not get that from somebody else. You know, all original. You know, all original. No, there's nobody who has the name project in front of it. Don't worry about it. Then I have Rejuvenation, which is actually still one of my favorites. Mental Illness. Now I do have 2 other ones. There's Lucky Number and Super Secret 6th album that no one knows about. And those 2 are not actually really publicly released. There are a few songs out on my YouTube that are from Lucky Number. I don't think I have any from the 6th one yet. But hopefully at some point, once I can start transferring some of my old EPs onto my second SoundCloud channel, which should be linked in the description, and then I'll start adding a lot more onto my main SoundCloud account. So yeah, but aside from that, I have all my singles, which actually all my singles kind of have like an anime arc, where it's it's different things, but those ones don't really count towards the EP, so don't worry about them. Wow, that's fantastic. You have 6. Because I've only seen 4, but that's great. Now we have something to look forward to. That's very fantastic. So you upload everything on SoundCloud. Have there ever been any problems with has anyone ever hated you for a track or anything like that? Has there been any pop-ups with SoundCloud? Oh yeah, I've had so many problems with SoundCloud, and it's not the listeners or anything. It's actually SoundCloud itself. You see, because most of my songs use samples from GroovePad and stuff, other people, I'm not the first person to use GroovePad samples in FL Studio. A whole bunch of people do. And the problem is that a lot of people like to copyright their shit. And it really sucks because, with the SoundCloud copyright system, anything that sounds, or has the same certain notes and shit as another song, and they'll copyright it to that song. You won't be able to post it. It'll be taken off. And a lot of the times I have to, straight up email SoundCloud and it's like, hey, they sound the same. They're not the same song. It just has some samples that are used in this song and everything. And it's from an app that everybody uses. So if you have a problem with that, then you have to go talk to GroovePad about it. Don't shit on me because of that stuff. And it does pop up on YouTube too at the bottom of the description. It shows another song. But until I can get my song copyrighted, that's just how it's going to be. And if I do start making money off of off of my music somehow, then I will take those videos down, because, you know, even though I don't really want to make money off my videos, because I just don't really care, I would much rather do that than have someone else make money off of my song. That just doesn't feel right to me or anything. So, I mean, yeah, it's just really just the copyright thing. And even then, like, you know, they're actually pretty fast about it. You know, once I send in a copyright claim, they're like almost immediately, like, you know, the next morning, boom, your track's back up. You know, and then, you know, so it's okay. It's just, yeah, it's kind of a bitch. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, I've heard a lot of the whole copyright stuff and everything. But, you know, hey, at least they go through the trouble to fix it. So now comes the fun little offset question, you know. So for one thing, where did you come up with the name, you know, Almost Living Mostly Dead, ALMD? What's the whole story there? So Almost Living Mostly Dead. See, when I started kind of making music, I was like, okay, I have to have a good music, you know, brand, one that kind of stands out. And I always liked, you know, the small short names like OMFG, IDFK, stuff like that. You know, this is short ones. And I thought, what can I do? I have to make it personalized to me. I was originally OMFG Hello, but that's not me. I want it all to be just me. So I couldn't just put, you know, OMFG Hello. So I somehow, some way, I actually don't really remember everything, but I basically put it this way. Okay, everybody, my whole life is called me Almond, so I want to use that. If you take a few letters out, you get ALMD. That basically says almond in 4 letters. But then, you know, it's like, okay, now let's make that an acronym. So then I thought, what goes with ALMD? And then I just came up with Almost Living Mostly Dead, because that's how I kind of was mentally in that state, and that's still kind of mentally how I am. You know, I'm almost living but mostly dead. So it just kind of all just kind of fit together, actually more perfectly than I thought it would. Very, very, wow, okay. Huh. Has a lot more meaning to it when you put it that way. Alright. That's very cool. So, last question. Who would you want to work with and stuff, like, in terms of music? Who would you see yourself collabing with, you know, in a few years? I would definitely collab with any kind of hard, like, dubstep artist. Like, you know, like Excision, Dion Timmer, definitely. Cold Breaks, I would love to collab with them. They would be so fun to do. Just oh, that would be so great. We could make some badass fucking music with that. But I mean, yeah. But I really wouldn't mind, you know, certain artists like remixing my songs and stuff. Like Cold Breaks and SYN, dude. Those are the 2 people I would definitely love for them to you know, to do some of my stuff with. And really, just actually anybody. Like, I really would not care if anybody remixed my music. And this goes out to everybody who listens to my stuff. If you guys want to remix it any kind of way you want, you can do it. I give you full permission. It's just, you know, try to get, you know, get a link or something to where I can listen to it. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So yeah, thanks for having me on here. Well, that is absolutely interesting. This has been a very interesting interview. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming on. And if you guys want to see more of ALMD, check the links down below, and yeah, subscribe.